Hello YouTube. I have made several videos about mermaids, those strange underwater creatures known in Russia, Ukraine, Eastern Europe, and Eurasia in general for centuries. Sometimes I find testimonies of sightings of the mermaids in other lands. To me, it's very interesting and indicates that there really are intelligent humanoid beings that inhabit our oceans, seas, rivers, and lakes. You might have seen my research of the underwater humanoids in general, and I have attached links to the playlist of my research videos on the subject. And I've been on this subject for many decades now, and hope to continue because it's fascinating subject. Today we will look at North America and the sighting reported by Captain Richard Whitburn, the explorer William Hawkeridge, and other crew members that took place in 1610 in St. John's Harbor, Newfoundland. And again, it was reported by Whitburn. Here's what he wrote. Now also I will not omit to relate something of a strange creature that I first saw there in the year 1610 in a morning early as I was standing by the waterside in the harbor of St. John's, which I espied very swiftly to come swimming towards me, looking cheerfully as it had been a woman, by the face, eyes, nose, mouth, chin, ears, neck, and forehead. It seemed to be so beautiful, and in those parts so well proportioned, having round about upon the head all blue streaks resembling hair, down to the neck, but certainly it was no hair, for I beheld it long, and another of my company also yet living, that was not then far from me. And seeing the same coming so swiftly towards me, I stepped back, for it was come within the length of a long pike, which when this strange creature saw that I went from it, it presently thereupon dived a little under water and did swim towards the place where before I landed, whereby I beheld the shoulders and back down to the middle to be as square, white, and smooth as the back of a man, and from the middle to the hinder part pointing in proportion like a broad hooked arrow. How it was proportioned in the forepart from the neck and shoulders I know not, but the same came shortly after unto a boat wherein one William Hawkeridge, then my servant, was, and the same creature did put both his hands upon the side of the boat, and did strive to come into him and others then in the said boat, whereat they were afraid, and one of them struck it a full blow on the head, whereby it fell off from them, and afterwards it came to two other boats in the said harbor. The men in them for fear fled to land. This, I suppose, was a mermaid. Now, because divers have written much of mermaids, I have presumed to relate what is most certain of such a strange creature. Whether it were a mermaid or no, I know not. I leave it for others to judge. And I read it just like he had written it in the Old English, including mention of not her hands, but his hands. Anyway, this case is interesting because close proximity excludes optical illusion, but the loneliness may have played some role since the observer finds the creature to be well proportioned, even beautiful. Well, we don't know what he really saw, and he admits this. The Whitburn was quite explicit in his statements. The engraving that you can see in the video is by Theodore de Brie from 1628, and from the book by Johann Ludwig Gottfried and Matthias Merian. I will try to read it in German. Please excuse me if I mispronounce, but Neue Welt- und amerikanische Historien inhaltende wahrhaftige und willkommene Beschreibungen aller westindianischen Landschaften. Frankfurt, 1633. So the Whitburn's account was repeated in the German edition of Theodore de Brie's America. I guess it was later revamped by several other authors. And in this connection, the illustration shows three mermaids, one apparently conversing with European men on shore, another approaching the shore where people gesture at her to keep away, another near a ship on which someone threatens her with a club. If it's important to find all those illustrations if possible. A related theme is found on a vignette of the title page where a mermaid is seen between two ships, her arms stretched forward as if begging to come aboard. De Brie depicted mermaids and many fabulous creatures in connection with the explorations of Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, and Ferdinand Magellan. Well, you see, 2 years before the 1610 sighting, no other than Henry Hudson, who is well known for his quest for the Northwest Passage, he recorded a mermaid sighting in 1608. He set out from England in search of a northeast passage, a voyage that brought him to the Novaya Zemlya archipelago in the Arctic Ocean, and on June 15, at North Cape on the northern tip of Norway, he reported that two of his sailors had seen a mermaid. Recall, in two separate journeys in 1607 and 1608, Hudson was navigating the treacherous waters of Russia's far north in a bid to find a passage to China and India. So both times he made it as far as the Novaya Zemlya archipelago in the Arctic Ocean before bad weather forced his return, disappointing his employer, the English-based Muscovy Trading Company. You should watch my videos about the Russian Arctic and the strange underwater phenomena in those lands. I think you will find quite a lot that you will not read anywhere else. And keep your eyes open for the further Arctic exploration. I think besides imminent confrontations, other things will be observed in those waters and have been. Who knows what really lurks in those waters? So that's what I wanted to let you know today, and I'll bring you more stories about the underwater humanoids and related folklore, myths, legends, military reports, encounters, and sightings. If you like my research, please support me. You'll find the links on how to do it in the description to this video. Please like my videos and please tell others about my channel. Thank you.